Hi, this is Chris Evert, and we're on Weird Tennis, and we're here to talk about Roland-Garros.
Nobody to this day has done better than you. Where does that stand within you?
It's still huge for me as far as it's my most successful Grand Slam. It was my most successful surface, having the record of 7 French Opens, and definitely is one of the big highlights of my career. No doubt about it.
You're the Rafa Nadal of women's tennis at Roland-Garros.
I am very flattered that I'm even compared to him. He's the greatest of all time, for sure, on the red clay.
You still are, in fact, greatest of all time on the red clay. You didn't have the topspin that he has, but you had other weapons that worked really well.
Yeah, I didn't have the topspin. I mean, we didn't know what a Western forehand was back in the day. I mean, it was all continental, and it was just flat, no spin. I was consistent, and I was patient, and I relied, I think, more on placement than power, and I think that helped me. And I was willing to stay out there all day if I had to win a point.
Yeah, you were brought up to really play as deep as possible, the deepest possible zone of the court on clay.
When I came on the scene around 15, 16, 3 of the Grand Slam tournaments were on grass. And so all the women, when you look at the top women, Margaret Court, Billie Jean King, Rosie Casals, Virginia Wade, they really didn't have great ground strokes at all. It was all serve and volley. They had great volleys. They couldn't stay in a rally, for more than 6 or 7 shots. And then I came along being brought up on clay. And I think that gave me a lot of confidence at a young age to beat those legends on a clay court.
How do you grow up on clay?
Florida is almost all clay. I think it promotes great footwork, great moving, great anticipation. I think it can teach you a lot mentally about grinding points out and about patience.
Your first appearance in '73, you just made it to the finals.
And should have won it too. When I played Margaret Court, I had beaten her before on clay, and I was upset in 5-3. I got tight. I couldn't hit out. But that was a good learning experience for me. It made me realize that I really had to get tougher in closing matches.
I want to talk about that '85 final.
I was nervous. She was nervous. So we didn't produce our best tennis and our best shot making. But it was, like you said, suspenseful. It was entertaining. It was dramatic. And what made it special for me was the fact that I had lost to Martina 13 times in a row. And then I had beaten her that one time earlier in the year. But my record against her for 2 or 3 years was dismal. She was ranked #1 in the world. She was really dominating women's tennis. And everybody had counted me out as far as winning another Grand Slam. So for me to win that and beat her by winning it, I think I actually had some tears on the court, which I never, ever cried after a match because, I was so conditioned to be unemotional out there. So, but I did. I was so happy. That was my best Grand Slam. When people say, what's your favorite win? That's my favorite win of the 18 years that I played professional tennis was the 85 French Open, for sure. Hands down. I just feel like after that, the French crowd really started to appreciate women athletes a lot more and women tennis players a lot more after that match.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in September.
I hope so.